Sunita can't wait for the week to be over so she can head out on her dream motorcycle vacation. Unfortunately, she pushed off maintenance until the last minute and doesn't have the parts she needs to get the job done in time. That's where Dennis Kirk comes in. With all orders placed before 8 p.m. Central pushed out the door the same day, and free shipping on orders over $89, Sunita can be confident that she'll get the parts she needs for her bike. Fast and free shipping. Just one more way Dennis Kirk is helping folks ride more and wait less.
I'm Nick Trask Performance, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Okay, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk studio where the gremlins are running wild tonight. No, it's something about that commercial. That's the second week in a row that commercial's crashed us, so seems like we have to kick that one out. Hey, man, thanks for watching Shop Talk every Sunday when we're going live with this one. In spite of the fact that you might be finishing up Yellowstone about the time we go on, doesn't matter. You can check it out live as we're doing it. You can be part of the show. You know, you don't have to sit back and just be an observer. You can put your comments over there.
Oh, which way, huh?
Anywhere you're watching from, just chime in and we'll get to you throughout the show. So you're watching Shop Talk here, and we are getting ready to get into some good conversation with a buddy of ours who's been helping us out since we started, since we announced that we were coming back with Smoke Out and getting back into the game there. He shot his hand right up and wanted to jump in, and it's our pleasure to have him on the show tonight. And I think we're going to be talking about his show, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to be talking about a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because he's been doing this as long as you have, I think, or almost as long as you have.
Poor bastard. Let's get Lincoln on.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
Lincoln, what's up, man?
How you guys doing?
We're like, well, we were doing good, and then the shit just hit the fan. We lost it for a minute.
Things are going great.
I was happy that you came back on and said that, because I was going like, crap, did my internet go out? And Heather's going to be on me now, you know?
So how long have you been doing Full Throttle Carolinas?
Well, the magazine actually started in August of 1998. My parents started it 316 months ago. But that time I was still in high school, man. But I still worked with them. So you still got it on me here, man. You've been doing it much longer. I was a background man for many years.
No, listen, I'll tell you what. Anybody who knows anything about publishing, if you're doing it in this day and age, I don't care if you've been doing it for the last 10 years. If you've been doing it for the last 10 months, and you're holding your own in the way this industry is now, the way this business is, you deserve all the credit in the world. And that's especially when you're doing stuff in the motorcycle industry like you have to do this because you love it, first and foremost. Because you and I both know we could be making a lot of money doing this shit for other people.
What you mean is this is glamorous, man. We make all the money, you know, and that's the big fun of it, you know. And everybody goes, you know, you got the greatest job, and I am not gonna lie, man. It really is top notch. But you know, we're always happy when we make the bills that month and get the magazine out on time. It's always a big deal for us. Right.
Yeah, it is. That was my favorite question to answer all the time. Like, man, isn't it great? You get to go to all the parties, and I'm like, yeah, we get to go to all the parties. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 90,000 miles a year on our vehicle, getting to go to all the parties. Yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah, see, what I love about it is I always go, hey, look, I'm here to work. You know, it's like,
Right.
and now again, I'm not digging ditches. It's not a big deal, but everybody came to the event, man. They rode in, they had a good time. Folks like us, we got to tote a lot of equipment with us. You know, you get out there, you got to make sure to get the right shot and stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still having a blast, but man, there's a lot that goes into it, huh?
We got to talk about this picture here real quick.
Yeah.
So I didn't even realize when we were loading this up in pre-show that is you at 20 years old.
Yeah. Don't mind that Bud Light in the hand there. I was 20 years old. Now this is Smokeout. This is one of those things, man. And I kind of, I don't know, man. I've grown up around all this stuff, so this was. I mean, Smokeout's just always been part of my life, man. It was something that you looked at every single year. Now back out now.
No, I want to know. I want to know.
Dad,
wait, first of all, did Edge give you a wristband so that you could buy that beer at his event?
No comment on that. I believe we're past the statute of limitations on that, but I don't actually recall. I don't recall most of the evening after this, but you know, Dad was a big Cervicar guy, and so anytime we ran into the ice cream man from Hill, it was a photo opportunity.
Yeah.
So we always stopped and chatted, and that was funny. Yeah. So yeah, I'm 20 there. You know.
Dude, and that's Flake Paint Design says Redneck Engineering in the background. That was the first thing that I mentioned to you was seeing Vince Dahl's trailer back there and some of his T-shirts. Like, man, I missed the days of Smokeout back then.
Oh yeah,
dude. And anytime you ran into the ice cream man from Hell, you had to stop.
The next room over, man. I gotta walk past that thing every day, and I kind of feel the same way, you know.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, the direction this has gone, you know, the Smokeout, you know, for so many years, man, it was. Between the Smokeout and the Antique Motorcycle Club of America show, these were my two favorites, just because of the caliber of motorcycles that were there. And we always had a blast at it, man. But the direction that you guys have taken it since you picked it up, put it back in Salisbury, man, my hat is off to you guys.
Oh.
You know, and it's funny, it's one of those things, man. We put on a couple of events per year, so and they're like a tenth the size of this. So and it. You know, it stresses us to the max. I can't even imagine what you guys go through to put this on, man. But man, like I said, my hat's off to you guys. You're doing a hell of a job over there.
Oh, thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to us. Because I'll tell you what, on the back end, we're like, oh my God, our ass is on fire. Did you do this? Did you do that?
Then too, like, you know, I got the first like month after George the Painter's article came out about Smokeout this year.
Yeah.
And for the first month, people were like, oh, it's terrible. Did you see what he said about you? And I'm like, no, wait a minute. I don't know if you grew up reading George the Painter like I did, but that was probably one of the most flattering pieces of journalism I've ever read by George, you know, but in his piece, like he said the thing that, you know, by the end he came around, he said, look, it's not Smokeout. It's not Smokeout like it was. It's a different Smokeout. He said, but what it is the greatest tribute band to one of the greatest bands that there ever was. And I'll take that. You know what I mean? Because time does go on. The fact that we can even manage to keep an event with the history that Smokeout's had going in the modern day of motorcycling today is amazing, because some of the shit that happened back then, you literally couldn't do today. You just could not do it. You know?
He was writing off of a 20-year deficit of going to things. I think, like, what did he say the last time we went to it was Smokeout 3? You know, so you're like, holy shit, man, that's I mean, what hasn't changed largely in 20 years, you know?
Well, and I think in general, and kudos, and I have to say this way, kudos to the horse for giving so many people such amazing memories of the Smokeout. Like
no shit.
And I have to say, I never got to go to Smokeout when the horse had it, but the way people talk about it and revel in the memories
reverence,
of it
right?
is amazing. Yeah. And it's hard to live up to that, but like you said, times have changed. If we tried doing what they did 10 years ago, there's no way we could do it.
They'd throw us the hell
we
out
would
of
get
Salisbury.
shut down. Nobody would want us around.
I think
My
did that
insurance
already.
wouldn't cover it. Even now, it's questionable.
The cool part about the Smokeout was you always remember the ride to it in the beginning of it. You can never remember what you did while you were there. People had to tell you what you did while you were there. So.
See, that's what's good about being a photographer, man. I had that. Now I haven't drank in 16 years. I had kids, and that moved on. But it used to be that we'd come home and I knew I had a great time, but I couldn't have told you what happened. We had to go back and look through the pictures and sort out the fuzzy ones and try to piece back together tonight so you could write an article, you know?
Yeah.
So now
Where
you
did
do
I get this bruise?
right. Now I know you do, like you said, you do a couple events. Do you ever find, even now that you don't drink, that when it's all said and done, you're like, man, I wasn't even at the event. Like that's
Right.
how I feel at Smokeout. I feel like I could still say I've never actually been to a Smokeout because you're so busy.
Yeah, you miss so much.
Like I
of
feel
it.
like I see pictures and I'm like, wow, this looks like a damn good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to go back and listen to stories from everybody else and definitely go back through and see everybody else's pictures to see what it was. Because yeah, you're running around back and forth through the field trying to make sure this is going on when it's supposed to go on. Replugging this in, making sure that's going on. Shaking hands in between. And that's what I see you guys, and it's always one of those things, man. I always want to stop and say hi. Nah, man, let them go. They got their hands full,
Well, and you, like we were talking about in the pre-show, we're all getting ready for the winter break, we call it, because the snow's going to fly. We're going to go back into the garage and we're going to get into our projects, but you don't get that luxury.
No. In the Carolinas, we cover both North and South Carolina, and that's enough to keep you busy all year round. But literally, other than it's going to rain, but weather-wise, winter weather, there's maybe 3 days a year where there's ice on the ground. We get ice, we don't get snow, and you just can't ride. Otherwise, man, we ride year-round. And even this weekend, there was. It's toy run season. We finished the rally season, man. We did about 6 or 7 weekends in a row out of town and slowed that down into just local events and stuff like that. But hey, man, there was 20 toy runs that we published this weekend. There's going to be a whole slew of them next weekend, and it'll go all the way till about December 15th. And it'll slow down for the holidays. And then New Year's Day rides hit up and shit, next thing you know, man, we'll be on our way to Daytona,
So I gotta clear something up real quick because Chris Summer Simmons is on here and she said this kid's not even gray yet, and hey. I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Wait here. Go ahead, show them all your gray.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, look at, these are earned here. These are earned.
But in case
I think that came from doing the last couple of shows. I didn't have any grays before we decided to put on big shows.
Right. But in case Chris missed the beginning of the show, your family has been producing a motorcycle magazine about as long as we've been doing this. So I imagine that meant way early on you were getting towed around to this shit and.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, grew up around it, so it was one of those things, started way back. It's always been in the family. Like my parents, my mom, actually, she was, she grew up Catholic, right? And she left her home on the threat from her parents that it was either her happy home or that motorcycle, referring to my dad. And so she left on the back of my dad's motorcycle, and that was, I guess they got married around 18, and I know I shot you some pictures of back then, like Dad. Yeah, Dad built this knucklehead. It was a basket case, and the worst of the story is he goes, I don't even know what happened to that motorcycle. Which I really wish that was still in the stall. We don't know what happened to that one, but they were big Triumph riders. Dad did trial rides and stuff like that, and there's a picture of Mom in there from back in the day in front of the Triumph sign that I really dig. We put that up when it's birthday time and stuff like that. But yeah, it's always been in the family. They took a break from motorcycle riding. See, that's a funny one right there. Now that's, again, I mean, I might have been 21 in that one, but that's Suck Bang Blow, before they built up the back area.
Yeah.
So like now that's, there's scaffolding, like there's walkways all the way across there and the stages in the back and stuff like that. But yeah, they took a break, had kids, and then he was taking me to baseball practice. My dad was, and saw a bike at the car dealership, man. He had been riding a buddy's bike, just getting back into it and stuff like that. And once they figured out they could get back into it, they did, man. It's been all off since there,
Yeah.
So evil Rick just wants to clarify that bikers don't go gray, they go chrome. Just for the record. And Lincoln Big Matt says that Lincoln's dad will always be a great man in his book.
Yeah, he was always my idol, man. I swear, like I said, he was a carpenter, and I've told many people that I was going to follow my dad wherever he went, and I'm really glad he got into the magazine stuff, because I'm a really terrible carpenter. That gene must like skip a generation or something. I was never good at it. So whenever he got into the magazine, I was already taking photography and graphic arts classes as rudimentary as they were back then. So whenever they started the magazine, I was really pleased that I could actually be a part of this and be helpful.
Right.
That's amazing. Now, do you ever, I don't know about you, but do you ever have that moment where you're like, God, print?
Yeah.
Like, I have to imagine that you face some of the same challenges that we do, even despite being a North Carolina, South Carolina-based publication.
Oh, every single month. But at the same time, man, it's like I still wholeheartly believe in the magazine and the print product. It's something that people put in their back pocket. It's in their saddlebag. It's and like Chris, man, we started before cell phones, man.
Right.
There was no internet.
Yep.
And stuff like that. We were cutting film for the color ads, and we had to cut the section out that you wanted to change. You'd send the section back to the printer that you were going to use again.
Amen.
So yeah, print still, it has its difficulties, man, but it's still, to me, the sturdiest media out there. You can refer to it at will. It's in your back pocket. Like I said, you can look at it, and we are, and I'm not sure about you guys, but we're bathrooms and bar stools, and that's where you get all your good reading done anyway, man. But
well, and
still love the print process, but yeah, it's a headache. We do web press, so I've been working with the same printer for the last 10 years, but you still, there's tolerances in there, and you work hard on this thing, you'll see it on the computer, it looks perfect, and sometimes when it comes back just a little bit out of registration, there's words, but we still love the print product.
We had a feature that and it's a beautiful blue motorcycle, and it's blue.
Yeah, this was just recently.
And it was perfect on the screen. I got the magazine, I'm like, it was purple in the magazine.
Dude,
I was like,
it was beyond purple. It looked like somebody spilled Tidy Bowl on the pages.
And I'm like, this is not what I submitted. This is not it.
And then I got to face the cat whose bike it is, who just happens to be Brian Clock.
Yeah, no, I've definitely been there. And early on, we fought orange and red, and I guess the printer didn't understand when he sent the bar and shield in. This was a specific orange, and we had detailed that, so we'd get stuff back in the Harley stuff would be red, and like you said, you gotta march it in there and go, here it is.
And Harley has no sense of humor for shit like that.
They don't. So
I think they're getting a little more lenient, because even they use red now. Like, depending on, they change it with the season, so it's okay.
They must have had a problem with their printer.
This is the thing, though. Like, we go back and forth about this whole thing with print all the time. I'm going to do print until the day that I die. If it ends up me and 3 of my friends that are reading the magazine, I don't give a rat's ass, because it is just, it's a generational thing. Like, this is what we grew up with. And right about the time that I get ready to throw the whole towel in on print, someone will remind me how important it is to them. We'll be out in an event somewhere, and someone will come out of the crowd and they'll be like, hey man, thank you for doing what you're doing still in a printed magazine. Like, we love this. And and they tell us their memories of growing up and how it keeps all of that inside of them going.
Do you get those stories?
No, absolutely. And like I said, man, this is real deal biker stuff, man, and I'm proud to be in this association with other print magazines, because you're right. This is how we grew up, looking at these magazines and cutting stuff out, putting the pin up on the wall. the centerfold and stuff like that. So it's one of those things. I'm a creature of habit, kind of a dinosaur. No offense to Mark, but so putting this thing going, it's a big deal to have that print magazine.
It really is, and and even that has changed. Like our process for it has changed, and I feel like even in just the past 2 years, we've evolved tremendously. But I literally don't think it's ever going to go away. I
certainly hope not.
Like
I
you
think it's
said
going to
before,
come
the
back around to
centerfolds and
heavier,
the
like.
pictures.
What's
Sorry,
that,
Mark.
buddy?
To have those pictures, to be able to pull those centerfolds out and to be able to cut a picture out, hang it on a wall, or put it in your toolbox or whichever, that'll never go away. Even us old guys, Lincoln, we like to have those pictures taped on our toolbox.
Hey, look, I rely on this kind of stuff, but I'm with you. Look, man, the magazine never refreshes when you open it up and you lose that article that you're reading.
Yeah.
It's always right there. It's on page 20 from now till forever.
Well, this brings up an interesting thing that we talk about all the time with this, because there's a very real need, not even just in the motorcycle culture, but in our society in the United States today. There's a very real need for long-form media again. We've got into this 10-year period with social media where everything has to happen within a minute. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a giant blank spot in the history pages of not just motorcycle culture, but everything culture-based in the country, because we haven't kept track of the names and the faces and the dates. And, there's been no historic record. And if you're not lucky enough for your culture to be part of pop culture, which motorcycles only were for 2 minutes, then what happens to your history? Who's keeping track of our history if not for guys like Lincoln?
Right. Well, guys like Lincoln, guys like y'all,
Well, us too.
Another thing about it is anybody can pick up their phone. They can go out. They can make a post, do something like that. There's no real meaning to it, man. It's something special to get your motorcycle put in a magazine, to have your picture printed. Right. It's there. It's special, man. It's cool. Right.
No, and it's so hard because we see, just like you, we see so many outstanding bikes, and I want to put every one of them in the magazine. And sometimes we'll shoot a bike, and it will take 2 years to actually get it on the pages.
I know where this story's going.
And people are so patient, aren't they?
Oh, so patient.
Oh, my God. There was a guy, she came into my office the other day.
I was literally spitting nails mad because he called me a liar.
This son of a bitch, she says, that's good bad. I'm like, whoa, settle down. Tell me what's going on.
Here's the thing, don't quit, and that was, he's got a great bike. We shot it. It was a year and a half ago. And I'm not going to waste money on shooting a bike that we're not going to feature. We're just not. But it takes time, especially for us, because we are on the national newsstands and things have changed so much in the past 2 years. We're six issues a year. So that means and we do 6 bikes in each issue. That's only 36 feature bikes a year.
Yeah.
Only. Let me tell you, I do two bikes per issue, and it runs me ragged.
Right. So we used to, up until COVID, we did 72 a minimum of 72 feature bikes a year. Yeah. So, which was great. But when you have that backlog, so I explained this guy, I said, it's a great bike. It's actually on my board to run. He straight up told me I was a liar.
And Heather didn't.
What he doesn't realize,
up in the queue, right?
What he doesn't realize is I have all your information. So I pick up the phone. And I'm like, just so I can have a conversation with him. Do you think the coward would answer me?
No, of course not.
I wouldn't either. You see her when she's pissed?
I was very nice. And just for the real quick, Mark, Salty Badger says your first print was the Old Testament.
Well, right?
Wow.
And how many people have read that? They can still pick that up. The power can go out and they can still read my first print.
Yeah, most printed item ever,
Oh,
that's right.
So good. XAN Biker, with electronic media, you close the screen and you forget about it. Mm-hmm. And again, that goes to there's something great about being able to hold it in your hands. It's tangible. It's
tangible. Yep, that's the exact word.
And you can dog ear it, and you can put it in a binder, and you can. I had a guy reach out looking for a feature that Chris did on his bike in 2008.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we still have that because of digital media, because we can save all that and it's readily accessible. But I could also go over to the shelf and pull a binder out, and I can flip right to that issue in my collection of the magazines. And that's, man, I mean, there's a guy that comes into Clockworks every week, and his name is Daniel. And Daniel he's always carrying an old Easy Rider with him, or sometimes it's a Motor Trend, and he always has stuff to talk about that he references inside the pages of those magazines. And like, it's some of my favorite times is because it's stuff out of history that we're sharing in present time. And, we're looking back at names and faces of companies that used to be and products when they first came out, what people thought of them then and what we did with them throughout time. And, I think it starts as many conversations as it does keeping track of history of stuff too,
Well, I was just going to say that
we'll get people to call us from time to time like that.
How many times do you go and look at an old magazine to reference? Like I said, I was cleaning stuff out the other day and found magazines from 15 years ago, like the whole year of all the magazines from 15 years ago. And again, I won't throw them away. I'll just put them in the stack. I think that's one of the coolest parts about the magazine. Unfortunately, on your phone, you have all those pictures. You go get a new phone and you lose 3/4 of the pictures. Yep. You'll never lose those magazines.
Nope. Yeah, we've got a whole archive room. I'm like you. We've kept a bundle from every single issue except for one. We forgot one. So anytime you see it's a Jeremy Mayfield cover, and don't ask me how that happened, but we don't have that one. But people call us all the time. There was a article on a guy and he's passed away now. Do you still have this magazine? Yeah. I just want to get a copy for the family. And it's a big deal, So yeah, always cool, man. Can't get rid of it. Print media is here to stay. Like you said, Chris, man, it might just be you and me in the end, man, but we'll still print them.
Yep.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. I love hearing
all
that.
We need.
That's right.
Do you do any freelance work? No.
For you, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that's I have to be honest, that's one of the struggles that we're having now, is because so many people that would normally be our journalists, they're influencers now.
Right.
And they're holding their phone.
I like the air quotes on that.
I'm sorry.
That's true.
But they're out there trying to get their minute-long story. And I'm like, I would love to have a story about where you are and what you're doing right now. And they've got pictures on their phone that are vertical, and they give me 30 words.
Yeah.
That's been a big challenge of ours, is having contributors
who can actually tell a story.
And wouldn't we all be stronger if it was together? Again, you posted something online. Okay, good. But if we all work together and we produced these magazines, and there was more input, man. Oh man, it's just so much. It's so cool, man. It's a better way to be. But I'm with you. We've got the same problem. Getting people to help out's a big deal. That's why I spend like 50 weekends out of the year probably gone. And the other one, I have to take a vacation with my family, or else they'll disown me. But
vacation? What is that?
It's a big problem.
No, I get it. I'm to the point, and I know people are capable of telling stories, but they're so short. I'm like, hey, give me all your bullet points from this event. I'll put it together for you.
Yeah.
And then you can tell me if I hit everything on the head, and we'll throw your name on it.
Oh,
That's
for sure.
been working.
I have them call me. I'll just talk them through, just ask them, because they'll tell you about the story all day long. It's the writing factor that I think is being lost. But
ask Mark, dude.
Give me some bullets.
Ask Mark. Back in the day, a few of our guys, not just one, a few of our guys used to bring things over to the office, written out in pen, on tablet paper. Yep. And they'd sit there with me, and we'd work a story out of their notes, and
multiple.
Right? Yeah, no, that was actually my first job with the magazine. That mom and dad would write stuff out longhand on a legal pad, and the only desk in the house, because that's where the office was mine. It was in the kitchen, and they'd give me that, and I'd type it out for them. Because, like I said, Dad was a carpenter. And it was kind of funny. I lived across the street from my high school. So they'd call and get me checkouts, calling like, hey, can you let Lincoln come over here? I'd walk home and come in the house. They'd have a question. I'd say, Dad, file, save. All right. I'm gonna go back to school, but I'd just go to the parking lot and smoke cigarettes and hang out with my friends. But yeah, that was my first job. And the funny thing there was, again, I'm 17 and I didn't know quite all the parts to a motorcycle yet, and so we did tech tips, man. And these people would hand write the stuff. Hell, I didn't know the words I was looking at, man. I couldn't tell you if it was just spelled wrong or it was a real word or what. I have no idea what that part was.
That sounds like me when I started here 10 years ago. I'm like, I don't know what this is. So you have an event coming up in January?
This year it's February 1st.
February
John
1st.
Jessup just told you it was February.
Yeah. Well, it was in January. It was in January, mid-January. It's kind of funny. We're working with the Greensboro Coliseum, and let me tell you, they've been really good with me. But my Coliseum manager came down after the second year, which was last year, and said, "Hey, the way the calendar falls, the RV show has your weekend next year." And I thought, that's not really the way that happens, right? That just means I'm the 14th instead of the 13th, you know.
Right.
But either way, they put me on to February 1st, which is a Saturday, which was cool because it got us off of. We were on the same weekend as Gibtown.
Yeah. Gibtown Bike Fest.
Which kept a couple of vendors from coming and stuff like that. I completely understand. So yeah, now we're on February 1st for our third annual Full Throttle Magazine custom bike show.
Right on.
So tell us about that. Like, we haven't had the pleasure of attending, but I know it's a kick-ass show.
Well, like anything else, it was something that we were always a part of promoting other wintertime bike shows, and when that stopped, we gave it a couple years and we started going like, well, there's a hole in our content as well, and I thought, well, this can't be so hard, right? We can do it. So we just kind of winging a prayer put this bike show on. Now, backstory on that, like, we've been putting on bike shows, my first, I guess I got a trophy in here for my first bike show bike. It might even be in the pictures I sent of my old Honda, and it won the rat bike class, but that was 2001. We've been putting on and judging bike shows since way back then. So we decided to do this Coliseum show. And we kind of just made a plan, threw all the shit at the wall to see what would stick. And after that first year, man, we had a huge response. I guess I'm lucky enough where I have a lot of friends with a lot of cool motorcycles,
I think you're in the right spot for it too.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. But then last year we kind of knew what we were doing, had some things to fix and put it together. We brought in Billy Lane last year to be our celebrity guest. Man, he was fantastic.
You have
man.
Dave and Jody this year, right?
Say it again.
You have Dave and Jody this year,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So that was the thing. So then this year, after all that, I said, I had a buddy of mine, Rodney from Twin City Cycles, and he called me up. And now he's always been part of the show. And he calls me up. He says, "Hey, I was having lunch with Dave Perowitz, and I was telling him how great your show is." I'm like, "Hold on, stop, back up." Start that over. And long story short, he's like, Dave wants to know if you want to do a paint show. I'm like, well, I mean, absolutely. How do you even turn something like this down?
Right.
So he gave me Dave's cell phone number, which I thought was pretty bold. And, we got it all worked up, shook hands in Daytona at the, God, what was it? It was the Iron Horse, wasn't it? You guys were out there. Stopped by over there and hung out for a couple minutes, got it all signed up. So yeah, Dave and Jody will both be there.
That's awesome.
They're going to be doing a paint show, which is so cool, man, because they do the paint show in Sturgis, they do it in Daytona, Laconia, they do it at the Smokeout, and now they're going to do one in Greensboro for our show.
That's awesome.
Hey,
good for you.
Listen, like that, I can't say enough about Dave. Dave is another one of those people that he loves this shit so much that he continues to give back like that. Like, he looks for ways to be involved, and I mean, that's when you have an opportunity. Yeah, when you have an opportunity to have Dave involved in something, it's because he realizes what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it was one of those things that he actually gave a bike away through, I want to say, Allstate Insurance, mid 2000s. It happened to be won by a guy in Jamestown, which is right down the road from us. So the insurance agency called us and said you should come down here and check it out, which of course we did. So we had met, and I know how this goes, man. You guys meet a lot of people, so it's but it was really cool to be able to get the chance. So yeah, there's that, and there's a lot of really cool things that happen here, and I'm sure you guys do some of this stuff too, man. But I even got like a buddy of mine from high school, Mike Richardson, to draw that logo this year. So it was like, my longtime buddy, man. He's been sketching on your notebook pad for years, and I sent him an idea. He knocked it out of the park. We got to do this with shirts too, so I had to give him that, like, hey, look, we got to stay as close to under 10 colors so we can afford to print the shirt too.
I know that.
So we got that going on. My brother with he's a tattoo artist, and his tattoo studio comes and sets up and does tattoos all day. Just really, really fortunate, man, with all the stuff, all the local folks that really dive in and help out. Ray Spencer with Universal Customs. He goes to all the big rallies, hired by Harley Davidson to do all the pinstriping and stuff like that. And he just happens to live in Mount Airy and is a friend of ours.
Wow,
so he comes and sets up and does pinstriping. I'll have to. We stole them. I guess we saw them first at Mark Hendricks's dealership, Tobacco Road, and then they played at the Smokeout, and we had them there last year at our show, and they just did such a phenomenal job. We were like, you got to have them back, know?
Yeah, Mark is on here, and he's talking about how incredible your show is, so he's a good shit too.
Again, just lucky enough to have enough friends that have cool motorcycles that floated us through. Last year we had 175 show bikes, and the thing that I'm most proud of with that is the quality of choppers and antiques that we brought in. The modern motorcycles, as you guys know, man, they'll find a bike show. They're going to be there, but getting the older bikes to show up and stuff like that is something that we worked hard on, because that's more of my arena and what I'm interested in anyway.
Yeah.
Really cool time. Mark brought a couple cool bikes last year. I know he's registered already this year. Looking forward to seeing him out here for sure.
I think we're going to have to look at our calendar and see if we can make it out there. It might be worth it. I think it might be worth the trip. Plus, it'll be warmer there than it is here.
See, that's what she's thinking.
Now, what we look for the bike show is that it's cold but dry.
It's
if it's too warm, everybody's gonna want to go riding.
It's a dry cold.
It's a dry cold.
Yeah, but for sure. Look, man, if you guys tell me you're coming, man, there's a booth with your name on it. No problem, man. Just
right
gotta
on.
let
Thank
me know.
you
We'll
so
make sure
much.
you're there.
Yeah, like I said, you're absolutely one of the people that we come to rely on with everything we do with Smokeout. We wouldn't be able to put that show on without you, and having that kind of hospitality, letting us come into your stomping grounds and helping us out with that. We appreciate you more than we can say.
Oh shit, man! Like I said, you guys are doing all the heavy lifting, man. I'm always throwing my hand in there, just being like, hey, just tell me if you need something, because we put on a much smaller field event, and I go, I don't know how they do it. So yeah, and me being here, if you guys need anything, man, I'm always happy to help out. And keeping that's the thing. We're talking about keeping magazines alive. You guys are keeping the Smokeout going, which, like I said, I grew up going to the Smokeout, man. It's an awesome event.
All of us, every one of us here. Yeah. Every one of us here, well, except for Heather, but
except for me,
we all grew up with Smokeout. Most of the people that are watching right now, I mean, that was
right.
Man, like, talk about that thing literally started a cultural revolution, and
for sure.
We're super proud.
And started a lot of bike shops themselves. I mean,
a lot of marriages.
Picture all the different shops. Right.
Started a lot too, though.
Started a few families.
Ended
a few marriages.
I know some Smokeout babies.
Oh, so good.
Well, Lincoln, tell everybody where they can keep track of you.
All right. Well, the best way to do it is by picking up the magazine, of course. And those magazines are in all of our advertisers, places of business, and more. But yeah, if you go to our website, it's fullthrottlemagazine.com. It'll look a lot like that on the screen there, and there's the magazines online every single month. You can click on it, read it there, and also the cruise encounters on there. That's always been our big draw. If you're looking for an event, you don't have to search everywhere. We've done all the work. We've got months and months worth of events on the cruise encounter tab on that. See if you flip that open, keep going one more time. And this starts one more time. Who put this together? There's the cruise encounter. And like I said, that goes on, for months and months. We want to see like 3-4 months worth of events in there. So you can pick that up and check that out. But yeah. Well, of course, you got the November issue, so it's a little shy. Everybody starts slowing down, man. But and see, there's our Mayhem and Midway event. We've been doing that for 4 years, and every year I'm with you guys. Every year I say I'm never doing this again. I'm just never doing this.
And just when you think you're out, they pull you back in.
The damn sponsors call me up and go, "We're doing this again, right?" And you go, "All
Okay.
right, let's go."
That's awesome.
It's an addiction.
But it really is
Truly
over
an
this year.
addiction.
That's it. That's the last one. So
Yeah, I feel like we're never going to be able to stop doing smoke out.
No.
Like,
No, you
that's
can't.
just how I feel.
yeah,
No.
yeah, no, you
Not
can't.
gonna
But
lie.
Well, make sure also give them a follow on all of the social media. They have the Instagram page, Facebook. We're going to put all those links up for you so you can give this guy support. Give him support. You guys,
Yep.
everybody on here is talking about print media. They're down. We're your brother. Help them out then.
Yep.
Subscribe to the magazine. Go to the events.
That's right.
Make sure you're helping out. Keep print media alive. Guys like this that can't sleep at night thinking about stories to bring you, make sure you're helping them out.
right, yeah, that's it. And back to the bike show, guys. That's it is a pre-registration show. We're giving away $12,000 in cash prizes, including 2 best in shows, one modern for $1,000 and one antique for $1,000. So, register your bike. You get a ticket to come in when you register. So you might as well bring a bike, put it in the show, take a chance at winning some money. You're going to have a good time. Bands, tattoos, vendors. And if you want to be a vendor, guys, we had 100 vendor spots. I'm down to like 15. And so that goes, I've got like 2 months to tell people that I'm out of vendor spots.
I'm going to call you this week about tattoos.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is Greensboro, North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we need to talk.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
We're going to fight with the state.
Well, yeah, like I said, my brother Lucas is Ink Lab Tattoo, and he always sets up at my stuff. And I'm telling you what, I feel bad for him too, because they run him ragged all day long, doing tattoos.
Well,
but,
we're gonna talk. I'm gonna have you hook me up with your brother, I think. Real quick, XAN Biker. Yes, this is the week before Cycle Showcase St. Louis. So there's plenty of time in between. You can do one, then go to the other. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's it.
Absolutely.
We'll get you out of there Saturday night, man. You can go on your way.
Well, Lincoln, man, listen, thanks for spending some time with us tonight, and hopefully we can shine some light on your show and get some more people out there. It sounds like you're well on your way, though.
Yep. Well, I appreciate all the help, man, and just even being able to be on the show with you guys, man. It's quite an honor.
Oh,
I
our
appreciate you guys
pleasure.
having me.
Absolutely.
It won't be the last time, I promise.
Right on.
No.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy.
See you, Lincoln.
Okay, so we've sold 6 bicycles.
Yes, I know. I
6.
wanted to talk about that. 6 is good.
6 is good. It's a good start.
60 would be better.
Yes.
60 would be better.
We need to change some lives. I know it sounds crazy when I say bicycles will change lives, but bicycles will change lives.
So let's put the link up
Promise you.
again. Let's put the link up again. Let's remind you guys that it is the season. 'Tis the season to get a bicycle. You get a chance to get into the drawing for a customized Road King from Dream Rides of Tennessee. There's a second one that's happening in Dream Rides of Stockton, California. Last year we were a part of this thing, and it was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bicycles. We're counting on you guys. We're putting the challenge out there. Let's see what we can do.
I want to run out of bikes to buy again this year.
Yes.
Come on, help me out. That was like the greatest feeling in the world. It was so good.
Put a smile on a kid's face.
So at the beginning of the show, and I apologize, Nick Hildebrittle wanted to know what everybody's Thanksgiving traditions are, like their favorite tradition.
Mark, you start.
You didn't ask me that. Well,
no, I got to ask you that because you got a good family. You got good family
coming
traditions.
From a crazy tight family, we do a brunch for every holiday, which is awesome. But our tradition every year of my life, I've been with my immediate family, and that'll never change. So that's it. Our brunches, just my family. I'm wealthy in family, not in money.
Right
so
that's a good kind of wealth. So this year,
most certainly is.
You're very lucky to have your family close by. This year, Chris and I were a little kind of like, what are we going to do? Like, Peanut's not here. It's just Chris and I. And then we started talking to some people that work in the building at Clockworks, and we're doing a Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving edition on Thanksgiving. And we initially thought it was going to be about 10 people. There's going to be 32 people at the dinner table for Thanksgiving. 32.
Yeah.
Yep, which is amazing. It is amazing that everybody is coming together because, it's a lot of onesie twosies and, nobody really wants to spend that day alone. So the fact that our friend Denise opened up her home and we're kind of sharing responsibilities, but everybody's coming, and I highly doubt any one of them will throw a turkey out the window.
Which is bullshit. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Like, I feel like cooking a turkey and taking it over there and whipping it out the back door
Just to throw it out.
Just in case.
Do I need to make an extra turkey?
Other kids grew up like me, and they expect
me and
that.
Me and Chris were actually talking the other day about, this Friendsgiving, and it's funny because at Chris's house, we always had something like that. Chris's house was always like the open door of vagabonds. Yeah. You never knew.
Island of Misfit Toys.
Yep. Breakfast rides. And so it's super cool that you're bringing that together out there because it was always so much fun. You never knew what was going to happen, but it was always a really good time. And like you said, Heather, it brings people together. People
Absolutely.
don't have family or they aren't around their family. Gives them the opportunity, and me being super lucky, if you have a big tight family, sometimes it's such a pain in the ass, but it's so worth it in the long run. You always have family behind you. So.
I completely agree. And I think I've always found it amazing how food brings people together.
Oh yeah.
Like I think every house should have a big open kitchen, and it's a gathering place. Like food just brings people together. It's one of the.
Okay, wait a minute. So we have some comments here. So Becky says that Mark's thinking, thank God I don't have to deal with that many people. He's from an Italian family.
Oh, yeah.
He may have
people.
30 people at his table.
Easy. Very easy.
She also says she was wondering about the bicycles, didn't know it signed her up for the magazine. She just renewed.
So that'll just add on to your subscription, or you can gift that subscription.
Yeah, that's the deal. If you do a donation for the bicycles, you're part of the Dream Ride Bicycle Drive. You get a free year subscription of Cycle Source magazine along with that.
Yep. So let's see, behind Rudy's fairing Thanksgiving tradition, overeating, unbuttoned pants, fall asleep watching football.
Yeah, buddy.
And then Radar says it's not Thanksgiving until someone starts crying at the dinner table.
See, Radar grew up like me. That's what I'm saying. Steve Burrow said the door's always open. So here's Mark.
Dude, you need a rubber turkey you can throw out the window.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Oh, no. No, I think...
So, listen, we got to talk about the motorcycle lifestyle and what the tradition always was. And Chris Simmons is here, so I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put her on the spot. What was the tradition that so many motorcycle people used to have for Thanksgiving? Starting the day off with what? Old motorcycle guys. Anybody.
Oh, Alice's Restaurant.
I can't believe you got it. Good for you.
That's not a motorcycle thing.
It is a motorcycle thing.
No, it's not. That's an everybody thing.
But no, but it was really a motorcycle culture, people. I don't know what it is about that, but yeah, go for a ride too. But there's something about like at least where
in
we
the morning,
came from.
Like
yeah, at least
Alice's
where we
restaurant.
came
That's funny.
Yeah, DV played it.
Yeah, yep.
Over and over on Thanksgiving morning.
I can remember, so I say 32 people is a lot. I mean, I can remember just my family, like my immediate family, there would be 15 people at the dinner table. And then growing
15.
up.
And Christmas morning, right.
Yeah.
Would have 45, 50.
Well, so we would do that for our big family party. Like everybody would. I think the last time we had a family party, we had 69 people or something like that, between everybody getting married and kids. But what we would always do, everybody would have dinner at their respective immediate family.
I got 3, that's it.
And then they would pick one of the auntie's house, and everybody would meet there for dessert. And they would always, so there'd be 30 people for dessert at one house. And
hey, Bill,
for 51 years of my life, I ate every holiday dinner at my aunt's with every cousin, every wife, every kid.
Yeah.
Up until my uncle had passed away. 51 years, it was on an average probably 45, 50 people there.
That's awesome.
It was painful sometimes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bill Redensel gets it, putting up the Arlo Guthrie thing. And that's, I can't tell you, Bill, how many young guys I forbid from riding their motorcycle again until they went and figured out the significance of the pickle. And when I say that to them, they're all like, what? And I'm like, you don't know the significance of the pickle. I said, man, don't you get on that motorcycle again until you go and listen to that song and figure it out.
I love this time of year. I love the holidays.
Hey, so listen, we're going to take a look at an event we were at last year at the beginning of the year to get you guys ready to go to it this year. One of our favorite events coming up in just a couple months here, the Donnie Smith Show. Stick around. We're coming right back.
On Location is brought to you by Clockworks. Clockworks. It's your ride. You decide.
There's a lot of things on this bike that we did a lot of kind of one-off things, you know, starting with the frame. We modified the, you know, complete new down tubes, backbone, everything like that.
I was going to do either carbon centers or spun outside hoops, and then we did the 3 spokes that we got together after Daytona before, you know, the show here.
Honestly, may be one of the best stories on the show floor this year.
This right here is my first ever custom FXR. And my mom's Monte Carlo was big enough that I could put this frame in the trunk. And Donnie will never let me forget that I borrowed my mom's Monte Carlo to bring this to him, right?
It is Sunday, March 24th, day 2 of the Donnie Smith Bike Show Midwest Motorcycle Extravaganza. And I gotta say, they're talking about a little bit of snow, a little bit of white stuff. Who gives a shit? Like, swap meet, crazy good. Motorcycles, crazy good. It's a great way to come spend a crappy, snowy Sunday in St. Paul, so...
Riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape. There's a flow to the road you share, so go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
I'm Brian Clock from Clockworks in Mitchell, South Dakota, and you're watching Shop Talk.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt. You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
All right, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk studio. You're watching Shop Talk, going long into the second part of the show, but glad you stick with us here. And that last little piece that we were watching from the Donnie Smith show, that was just an abbreviated piece of what you can see on Grease and Gears TV.
XAN Biker watched it earlier today. He said it was good.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. So lots of great stuff, almost 40 minutes in its entirety. We got a lot of great interviews in it and checked out a bunch of cool bikes, but check it out today on Grease and Gears TV or on our YouTube page.
Yes.
We put some of the Grease and Gears stuff on YouTube just so you guys can see what it is that we're doing out there, specifically for Mark, because Mark hates TV.
Evil
Well,
Rick. I used to drive truck. Flying J has the worst coffee I ever drank, and I had coffee from some of the worst choke and pukes in the country. I don't know. Yeah, Flying J is pretty much the worst coffee. No, it's terrible.
What worst?
I agree.
Nah.
Love's is better than Flying J. Wawa is better than Love's. But if I can hold out for Dunkin's, I'll hold out for Dunkin's.
Cocaine says we lost Canadian drag bike legend Hyper Elmouse
from
Edmonton, Alberta earlier this week. Pro Dragster champion. Not sure if you guys knew him or not. A damn good dude. Sorry to hear about that.
No, that's a bummer.
Becky Quiver also hates TV. See that, Mark? You're not alone.
Oh, there you go.
You're not alone.
Look at that,
Mark.
we're on a roll.
You're never alone.
Well, I'm usually alone, but that's besides the point.
Wow. We went long tonight.
Yeah, we are.
We had good guests.
We should cut everybody loose, right?
Yeah, one more time. Let's change a kid's life.
Yeah,
Buy
listen.
some bicycles. You get a free subscription.
Quickly, listen to what we're telling you.
Hey, this could be a 2-for gift. You get a bike for a kid and a subscription for a buddy.
Yep.
Just
Subscription for a buddy, and you might actually be the person that wins the motorcycle.
Ooh.
We're going to put this stuff all over social media the next 2 weeks, but this is your opportunity to get involved, get some free stuff, have a good feeling going into the holidays, help out John and the whole team at Dream Rides,
Love
make
it.
this bicycle drive a success again. And for us, I think this is about going to do it for this Sunday night. It's been a great one. Lincoln, always a pleasure to talk to you, my brother. John Jessup, happy birthday to you, a day late, but we got you on the day too.
XAN Biker wants the events. You just want to hear Chris make fun of me. That's why you want the events.
Wait a minute, is it event time? I was missing the events?
Oh, you skipped the
All
events.
right, fine, let's do it.
Shop Talk is brought to you by Cyclefish. Cyclefish, the most complete list of motorcycle events in the U.S.
How about now?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Hey, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, Kieran, every married guy's dreams turn the sound off on our wives.
I didn't know if this was the sign language portion of the show or what was going on.
Son of a bitch. I don't know what happened.
Son of a biscuit eater.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
He did that on purpose. I'm just telling you right now. He did that on purpose.
Oh.
Can we hear the events now?
WKRP.
Oh.
Well.
Okay, one more time.
One more, are we starting from the top?
No.
Where are we starting? Okay.
No.
Cycle Showcase. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go backwards. Lone Star Swap Meet, largest indoor motorcycle swap meet in Texas, January 11th and 12th. Fair Park, Dallas, inside Food and Fiber Pavilion. Check that out. I like swap meets. I can't see it. Garage Brood entries are open now, so you can go ahead to Garage Brood and submit your bike to be considered for that show. Cycle Showcase St. Louis edition, February 8th and 9th. You can get information at cycleshowcasestl.com. What the hell? That's right, Rudy. Flat Out Friday, February 21st at the, I forgot how to say it, Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Followed by Mama Tried. Tickets are on sale now at the Eagles Ballroom, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can get more information on that at Mama Tried Motorcycle Show. Greatest Chopper Show on Earth, Willie's Tropical Tattoo Chopper Time. March 6th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. 100% of the proceeds go to the Veteran Support Fund. So pony up $20 and register your bike. Donnie Smith Bike Show and Swap Meet, the Midwest Extravaganza at the St. Paul River Center in beautiful St. Paul, March 29th and 30th, 2025. We'll be there. Go ahead.
Born Free.
Oh.
I knew it was coming.
Whatever.
Well, we can't do Born Free, y'all.
It can't be Born Free, y'all. This one's in California.
Free.
Silverado, California, June 21st and 22nd. We might be there too. I don't know.
It could be like, dude, Born Free.
Dude, Born Free.
Born Free.
Dude,
Born Free, bro.
It's Born Free, bro.
Free, bro. Pass the Born Free, bro.
Save the date. Smoke Out 25, September 4th through 7th. There will be no bingo. It's in the contract.
What the hell?
Whoa.
Stop.
There's bingo.
No, he literally
I'm
wrote
out.
it on the contract, Mark. It says there will be no bingo on Thursday, September 4th.
Me and Randy both said if we can't take that board down, we're just leaving as soon as we get there.
All right.
That's
so, listen,
Done with
I'm
y'all.
not sure what in the actual hell went on with YouTube tonight, why that crashed our show, like...
Whatever. I think you muted me on purpose.
I didn't. Baby, I love listening to you talk. It's like...
First of all, Santa is
In
coming
front
and
of
lying
God
is a
and
sin,
everybody.
Chris.
God damn it, Mark.
Wow. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the meantime, back to you, Jane.
Say goodnight, John Boy.
Here's
I'm done with all y'all.
Here's what we want you guys to know. I want you to have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Be thankful. We're all in this together, and we're trucking on through.
Yep.
Till next week. When we come back, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Turkeys can't fly, Felicia.
God, I'm in big trouble.
Be kind to one another.